Cook, single setback, 2nd and 4, Buffalo. Handoff. Cook gets around 3 defenders and then kicks it to another gear. Cook still going, looking for the angle. Touchdown! Wow! Tremendous run! 44 yards. James Cook to the house.
Talked about the offensive line, but you also have to talk about just how special James Cook is. There were 2 unblocked defenders in his face. He splits them, makes his way downfield, reverses course, goes all the way back into the end zone. 3 carries for 67 yards and a touchdown on that first drive.
JJ, we asked James Cook, winning the rushing title.
And now Joe Burrow and company begin at their own 9. Dolphins going to bring 4. Burrow step out of his own end zone, taking a shot near side. Higgins. Boy, all that athleticism.
Well, that's what you're going to get with T. Higgins in the game, and you see this every single time he's in there. And Joe Burrow has...
When they're 3rd and 6 plus, that's where Herbert gets hit, gives up sacks, and it's really problematic for this offense.
So these 2nd down and 7 plays are big. Shot down the field, end zone, it is held on to by Johnston for the touchdown. The Texas native with a fabulous catch for the score.
He is their big size receiver. Their down the field threat, but could not have thrown this ball any more perfect. Right in front of his home.
Got an interim GM with Champ Kelly, with Stephen Ross, big decisions to make as the owner. This is Achane weaving his way. Achane, the speedster, takes it to the house. 48 yards. And Miami with the answer.
This is the Dolphins offense at their best, and you get the combination blocks. And just look at these linemen getting to that next level. They cut off the entire inside part of the defense. Look at that lane. And I'm sorry, I played safety in this league. That is a tough ask. And all that.
From the 20, White waiting for a block. Rachaad White gets it. Rachaad White across midfield and down to the 40 of the Carolina Panthers. Back at the 20. We'll take a closer look at that in a moment.
Watch him get back inside. Watch this. Put his foot in the ground, inside, then back outside, down the sideline.
Illegal use of hands to the face.
2nd and short. Prescott takes a deep shot down the sideline. It is Pickens picking it for the touchdown.
Bottom line is, when this guy is one-on-one, Dak Prescott is going to throw it to him. There is no better target, especially down the field. When he gets running, he's like a 400-meter sprinter. He just gets faster the further he gets down the field.
A lot of love lost there, losing to those Super Bowls.
Down 4, Burns knocks the ball free, and the Giants are going to score on defense. Tyler Newman takes it in for a touchdown following the sack of the forced fumble by Burns. Ryan Burns made the play. 2nd sack today, 15th of the season.
I mean, just by design, screenplays are designed to have defenses run up the field. So you have to get rid of the football. If you're J.J. McCarthy, you...
5 guys on the line, right?
Down line, yep.
There it is. Herbert off the play fake, stepping up, climbing the pocket, taking a shot. Johnston! He held on. He is inbounds for the catch, down inside the 25 of Dallas. And the former TCU Horned Frog picks up 50.
Cowboys up front with this 5-man rush. And we're talking to Eberflus. He said, hey, we need to cage rush this guy. In other words, like, keep him in the pocket. Unfortunately, you allow him that lane to step up and throw this ball. Now I would say it's Malik Hooker. Just get your head around.
Right in position today.
Pollard back there now. 2nd down, 8. They bring everybody. Here comes Tranquil. Here comes Hicks. And he's pelted as he throws. And caught DK right in front of Fulton. Was he in? They say he was. DK, a rookie out of Florida. It was a beauty and hit by Fulton.
DK just
seeing that Ward is struggling in the pocket. Let's see, 1, 2. Looks like he has him down. But
both have been very successful, 5 out of 6 in games decided by 3 or less. Kavon Chson on the return, and he shakes loose. Johnson can fly, gets past the kicker Fitzgerald, and all the way inside the 45 of Carolina. A dazzling return to set up Baker and the Bucs. And a good one going for the top spot in the South. Bucs with the football, trailing by 3.
Media, but I would agree with Chase Brown. I think it's a whole lot to do with nothing, and we're going to see a great version of Joe Burrow next season.
Burrow fires down the field. Boy, they had to come back for it. It was Chase. Working against 2 defenders, he picks up 36.
This is the danger in this kind of a double, an in-out double. And you get a good receiver with speed, they'll split that and take it every time, and they'll go deep. You know, the Dolphins, what they're trying to do between Jones and Davis, one takes the outside breaking route, one takes the inside.
When you've allowed him to escape.
Extra body coming for the Dallas pressure. Nearly got to Herbert. They could not contain him. And there he goes sprinting, getting a block, and down inside the Dallas 35.
If you watch this is such a well-orchestrated pressure. I believe it's Kenneth Murray right now, right there. As they distracted the offensive line. He gets a free look at him, but that's when you have to bring a guy like that down. If you give him the opportunity to step out of that, you see what happens, especially when you're playing man-to-man on the backside.
They clock down to 2 on 3rd down. Cook pitches to his right. He's sacked. He lost the football. Nathan Shepard sacked him. It spun away, and the Saints have recovered. How can you miss him?
Watch Shepard here working against Myers, the center. They get him in a one-on-one situation. Simpson comes in, and he hits Myers rather than Shepard. Shepard causes the fumble, and Chase Young picks it up. The Saints are right back in business.
Vikings have won the last 5 in the regular season against the Giants. Brosberg on 3rd down. Jefferson diving catch along the sideline. Minnesota 1st down at a gain of 22.
What a catch. Now let's see if he actually maintained possession. He's dragging that left foot for sure. That's a completion.
Jasper Jones, Justin Mater, they were making cookies with the kids this past week here in New Orleans. Shuck looking for it all to the end zone. Olave! Excuse me, that's Taysom Hill. What a day by Taysom Hill. 38 yards.
Run. Even the Jets said that. Olave in the slot. There's nobody near him. Malachi Moore was totally locked in on the backfield. The read the Jets had.
Mayfield throws, and it's intercepted. It's a takeaway for the Carolina Panthers. Lathan Ransom, the rookie. Bucs driving for the tying field goal or go-ahead score. Mayfield on a mix-up looking for Mike Evans, and Lathan Ransom goes low for the interception.
Yeah, Evans trying to use the scramble drill. He sees his quarterback in trouble. He's running the over route, and he decides to stop, to come back, to find some open ground, and Mayfield trying to get it.
Takes out the opportunity to spread out the field.
3rd down, Brissett. He loads up to launch. Down the sideline, into coverage, and incomplete. Kobe Bryant on the coverage of Wilson. It was close. Wilson couldn't reel it in, but the rookie out of Kansas was stuck to him.
You play opposite of A.J. Terrell, you're going to get a lot of targets. Watch this catch by Wilson, or lack thereof. You can see the ball come out before they even hit the ground. The question is, did the ball hit the ground before it bounces onto Michael Wilson's chest? I think this is a catch.
I think
that's a touchdown.
It looked like it rang around and just balled around his body.
Some of him, but a lot of the offensive line.
3rd down and 1. Gino is intercepted. It's Derek Stingley on the return. Stingley with a touchdown.
The Texans defense strikes again.
Charles here, they go play action. He's just looking for Genty in the flat, and he gets pressure from Hunter, but just a miscommunication and a bad throw by Geno Smith. The play's not there, throw it away, but to go for that pass and put it behind him.
A 1st and 10 near the 20. Lions go to the end zone and caught. What a catch! Tesla somehow held on to it.
Watch right here. You've got to get between him and the safety and go up the seam. And you'll see the timing of the throw has to be perfect, and Tesla has to make a great bang catch. I mean, half of his receptions have basically gone for touchdowns this year. Oh, you got one-on-one outside, linebacker on Gainwell.
Rodgers off his back foot, throws it down the way, and a flag's coming out on Anzalone. And look at Gainwell. Gainwell thinks he has the touchdown.
This is the football.
Jim, I'm pretty sure you said earlier, who's got the best hands on this team?
Number 34.
Gainwell, and he showed it right here. It was from Mike Tomlin, who told us that, meeting with him on Friday. Just look at this. He's going to get the flag anyway, and just got to his feet, presence of mind. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
And these guys are calling it in real speed, and they are right the majority of the time.
Handoff Harvey, and now a big run up the middle, breaking tackles, and R.J. Harvey on the move, down the sideline, Harvey diving for the pylon, touchdown Broncos.
By R.J. Harvey, this is just all him. Watch 42 come in from the right of the screen. There he is, Andrew Wingard right there. Poor angle coming up, and he spins out of that, and now it's a sprint to the pylon. You're trying to punch out. There's another thing, in a takeaway culture, trying to force the turnover instead of getting the runner out of bounds or to the ground and preventing that.
Done a great job with helping him convert and make him a playmaker from the nickel spot. 3rd and 6, Genty down the field, he's open, he's got it at the 30. Genty, stiff arm, stays on his feet, touchdown! What a play by the rookie! Ashton Genty, a 60-yard touchdown, and we're tied at 13. Touchdown of the year is 9th overall.
And the underrated part of Ashton Genty's game, his ability to catch it out of the backfield. Came into this weekend 7th among all running backs in the NFL in catches on the year. And they get him out there isolated, working against a linebacker, Henry To'o, and being able to get him down.
3rd and 3. 4-man Denver rush. It's Washington. 1st down and more. Parker Washington on the run. Inside the 25. Veering around Singleton. Weaving to the 10. Jaguars with the big play. 63 yards, and it's 1st down Jacksonville.
Great job, run after catch. Riley Moss, 21. He's going to come up outside leverage, foot in the ground, vertical north-south, and now it's a foot race. That is an outstanding move. I mean, that is secure the catch, foot in the ground, north-south, in the blink of an eye.
The long pass allowed this year by the Broncos. On 1st down off the play fake. Nix sets up, and he's looking deep. Wants Franklin, drops it in. Franklin with a catch. 1st and goal Denver at the Jaguar 9.
There's Troy Flanker right here going to the inside, back to the outside. There's still an opportunity for Antonio Johnson. I thought he played it well. You know, a lot of times you see that outbreak and then back to the middle of the field, and you kind of flip the hips of that safety, and he's got to get back.
2nd and 5. Toss to Warren. Found a little opening, and away he goes. Jaylen Warren with the touchdown.
Take a look at the left side. Spencer Anderson and Williams right here. They're going to kick out 4 or 5 yards for Washington, and Spencer Anderson, and that creates such a hole.
Chubb picks up the 1st down. And still going. Nick Chubb. into Las Vegas territory, and then Crosby catches him from behind.
No, there are no just shoulder tackles. So Chubb gets this ball. One, Stokes can't wrap him up. Lonnie Johnson, that's just a terrible effort to make a tackle from a free safety. And then Max Crosby, look at the effort of this guy, where he's running from when he sees the tackle isn't made, is able to run Nick Chubb down. A really good run by Chubb of keeping his feet moving. But the story of that play was the bad tackle. So now you're getting the best pass rush that you've had all game long.
Genty again. Trying to break it to the outside. He does. Ashton Genty still going. What a run. Genty, his second touchdown today. Without a run of at least 15 yards. That one goes for 51.
Ashton Genty's second 100-yard game of his young career.
Huge play. Warren already ripped off one long run. He's got another one. No one's going to get to him.
Take a look right here. This is why having the backup safety is Harper. You got to get outside. Get out there. It allowed Metcalf to block two guys, the corner and him. It's like a crack replace.
It was there. Right down the hash mark. Brissett tucks it far side. And intercepted. Picked off by Henderson. Just activated this week for this game. He rips it off on the sideline for Atlanta.
And his helmet touches out of bounds. To me, he doesn't have control before that helmet touches out of bounds. It's really close. This will be a good look there. They're going to have to piece a couple of angles together. Still doesn't have it. You can see the hands off of it. And then he's going to attempt to gain control, but that helmet looks like it's touching. Ruling on the field was an interception, though. This will be another good look.
Do those hands clasping on the ball, Dean, constitute enough control?
That's going to be the question. You have to control it with the hands, either pin it to a body, but the hands and arms have to be involved. And this may be one that just the ruling on the field is going to win the day because it's that close. If I had to lean one way, I'd go incomplete, though.
Yeah, it looks like it moves again. He's kind of got the hands crossed, Dean, so it's not fully pinned right before that. Watch the hands here. They come across.
Patriots get to a one-word quick call. Pressure from the Ravens. May in trouble. Lost the ball. Ball came out. Recovered by Draymond Jones. Through the fumble. Punched out by Darius Washington on the pressure. And Baltimore may escape a field goal here.
What a difference to get our Darius Washington back in this game, because that guy is just relentless in everything that he does. He can play the slot, he can play corner, he can play safety, and we certainly just saw he can change a football game with a play like that. Just got back from an Achilles injury and stepped up last week, played about 15 plays, and comes back in this one and makes 8 games.
Stevenson gets a break. Dearness Johnson, 7th-year veteran, former Raven, in the lineup. May taking a deep shot. Downfield towards Williams. He brought it in. That's a touchdown. That is Kyle Williams. His 3rd of the year. Tremendous over-the-shoulder catch. Game on in Baltimore.
That one. That's a little taste of what we saw all year, earlier in the year. Let's make sure everything was kosher. Yes, indeed, it was. Brilliant. And Kyle Williams, you hit on it. How about a guy averaging 28.5 yards a catch this year? You have a trusted weapon down.
The 21. Stevenson bouncing outside. Ramondre Stevenson with a block by Williams to the end zone. The Patriots take the lead. Touchdown, New England.
Ramondre Stevenson right there, Roquan Smith there. And what you're going to see is a setup here and a cutback. And it was Roquan Smith who just barely stepped into that other side, that other hole, and Ramondre Stevenson teased it that way, cut it back, and look at the New England Patriots. Last week, They had an opportunity late to seal up the game. This week they had to come from behind. And you just have to wonder, how much did they learn from that experience in Buffalo or against the Bills that have helped them here in this one tonight? It's a young team. They're growing. They're learning.
Those two teams play Week 18, but it might not be significant if the Ravens don't rally. Huntley looking. Flowers. The best man tonight. Chase down, knocked out. Patriots recover. It was Kavon Chson who came from behind and forced the fumble.
Never, ever gave up on this play. He's going to go all the way around and doesn't hesitate for 1 second. The minute that ball is thrown, he turns and sprints down the field. Watch him punch this thing out to almost win the game for the New England Patriots. Just spectacular. And I'll bet you that one goes on the Hall of Fame reel right there as far as Mike Vrabel's concerned.